Welcome to our little comparison of all three generations of the Mercedes-AMG C43 with identical spec, in silver as a sedan. And we have to start with an apology, because the footage you're about to see was shot in a bit of a hurry. You see, we only had a tiny window of opportunity to shoot all three vehicles together, with decent weather for all our channels in the same place. Speaking of which, the middle 2018 model was kindly lent to us by our venue hosts, Roller Motors, or Roller Mercedes-Benz, here in the Western Cape of South Africa. Please show them some love by visiting the link in the description below, or buying this absolutely pristine pre-owned C43. Right, please let us know what you think of this comparative video, which C43 AMG is your favorite, if we can improve anything, and what else you would like us to compare. Hello, Uncle Nico. I wanted to show you something special. We've lined up three generations of the Mercedes-AMG C43 or C43 AMG. This is the very first one they made. These were made from late 97 to about mid 2000. It's the W202 chassis C-Class. They didn't make many of these. Somewhere between 3,800, that's Merck's official number, and 4,200, which is Wikipedia and is not always correct. About 3,000 of them were sedans, 770 something were estates or station wagons. Those were the only two body shapes they came in. It's a 4.3 litre naturally aspirated V8 derived from the 430 engines of the late 90s that Mercedes-Benz used. It is unique to this platform. You only got this engine in the W202. Quite a rare car, say about 4,000 units, because by comparison, the E36 M3, which we both absolutely love, they made 71,000 and something in total of the coupe, cabrio and the sedan. These were built in Germany. It was the second C-Class that you could buy officially through a Mercedes-Benz dealer. The first was the C43 AMG, which was based on a C280 and then upgraded. This was not upgraded, it used the hand-me-down engine, but it was actually made as a C43 right from the start. Produced in Germany, left-hand drive and right-hand drive. Obviously it's got a body kit, sportier suspension, beefier exhaust, the brakes, I'm not quite sure, some people say from an E55, others say from an SL500. Same as the gearbox, these only came with the automatic 5-speed gearbox, which apparently was taken from an SL or 500 or 600. It has been tweaked a little bit, just like the engine management system, to rev a bit more and be more responsive. So yeah, 4.3 litre naturally aspirated 3-valve per cylinder V8, it's an M113. Goes up from about 205 kilowatts to 225 kilowatts in this car, with 400 going up to 410 newton meters of torque. What else? Only rear-wheel drive, I think I mentioned. Weight, somewhere around 1.5 tons. Some people say 1,470, others say 1,570. It's got ABS, EBD, traction control. It's got 4 airbags, so it's got side bags too. It does 0 to 100 in 6.5 seconds. The estate did it in 6.7. The top speed is limited to 250 kilometers an hour, at which point this gearbox has just settled into its top gear. Apparently without the limiter it'll do about 270. Its average consumption is 11.7 liters per 100. It has a 62 litre fuel tank and a 430 litre boot. We'll probably put some footage in as I'm talking about this. Yeah, the predecessor we mentioned was the C43 AMG. That is the original post-merger car. There was a C55 version of this where they put a 55 engine in, but it's only a handful, I think like 20 or 30 cars. The successor was the W203 C-Class C32 AMG, a V6. And later that became the C55, also naturally aspirated M113. The W204 was the C63. There was no mild version or no 43, but the W205, which we have right over there, also in silver as a sedan. All right, we are back with the next one. This is a W205 C43 AMG, or they called it a Mercedes AMG C43. As you can see, we've lined them all up in silver and sedan form because this came in every single body shape: sedan, coupe, cabriolet, and station wagon estate. It had a 3-liter twin-turbo petrol V6, direct injected, making about 270 kilowatts. That was before the facelift, with a 7-speed automatic gearbox. And after the facelift, it got bigger turbos. It went up to 287 or about 290 kilowatts, and a 9-speed gearbox. All of these were all-wheel drive and only had this drivetrain. It was the little brother of the C43, of the C63, and it's, yeah, some people look down on the C43 because it's not a real AMG. It wasn't built at Affalterbach. The left-hand drive version was built in the USA at Tuscaloosa, the old ML factory. The right-hand drives were built right here in South Africa, in East London. And because of that, it also doesn't have a badge of who built the engine, but neither does the old girl. Because of that, people say it's not a real AMG and they don't like the sound of the V6, which is a pity because it's one of my favorite features of this car, is that it's got this beautiful V6 sound. It's also got drive modes and an exhaust mode, so you can actually turn it on and off. Unlike the older car or its rivals, you can actually turn it into hooligan mode or normal comfort mode. Torque was always 520 Newton meters on all versions, and the weight is around 1.7 tons, 1730 kilograms. It had ABS, EBD, ESP, multiple airbags, all the driver aids I mentioned, and because of the four-wheel drive system or the all-wheel drive system, it did 0 to 100 in 4.7 seconds. And there's another one, there's a convertible right there. Thank you. It's doing a cameo for us. The top speed is limited to 250 kilometers an hour. I could not determine what it would be without the limiter, nor could I determine how many units they made. I couldn't find that out. I can tell you though that the average fuel consumption is apparently 7.8 liters per 100. It's got a 66 liter tank and a 455 liter boot. I did mention that these were made from about 2016. Yeah, from about 2016 to 2022. Let's move on to the new one. Right. Hello and welcome to the new one. This is the brand new Mercedes AMG C43 AMG. This platform is called the W206. It's the latest C-Class. It's fairly recent. So the W206 is actually built right here in East London as well, in South Africa. And it uses a medium tune on an existing AMG engine. Obviously, it's a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbo petrol, but it's a performance electric. It's got 48-volt hybrid technology. It's air-derived. You can even see here it says turbo electrified. The code for the engine is M139L, and the L stands for longitudinal, because the motor is actually built in longitudinally or north-south direction, not transversely as it would be in a hatchback. It makes 300 kilowatts from a 2-liter, 300 kilowatts, plus it has a 10 kilowatt overboost function at 6750 RPM, almost 7,000 RPM, and it makes 500 Newton meters at 5,000 RPM. It's got a 9-speed MCT automatic transmission. It's got all-wheel drive with rear-biased torque distribution, and it's actually got rear axle steering of up to almost a degree. Obviously AMG adaptive suspension, 18-inch wheels, 19s or 20s are optional. The car weighs around 1,840 kilos, so 1.8, 1.9 tons. It does 0 to 100 in 4.6 seconds, obviously also aided by the clever all-wheel drive system. Top speed is 250 kilometers an hour, which is limited. I could not find out what it would be without the limiter. With an AMG driver's pack though, you probably have to do an advanced driver's course, get a certification, then they'll raise the top speed of this car to 265 kilometers an hour. Average fuel consumption is 9.1 liters per 100, and it's got a 66 liter tank. The boot apparently takes 455 liters as well, and it's got multiple drive modes, probably 800 airbags, adaptive everything, the latest infotainment. It's on the highest standard of technology and safety that you can get today, and it includes a race start mode, which I might actually put in as well, because we will performance test this car. Thanks. Right. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, which now makes you a member of our 43 Club. Again, we'd like to thank Roller Mercedes-Benz in Somerset West for not only hosting us, but for throwing us the key to a beautifully prepared vehicle from their pre-owned inventory. Please abuse the link in the video description or visit roller.co.za for more information. And last but certainly not least, do let us know in the comments below what you think of this little video, which other vehicles we should film or compare, and most importantly, which one of these C43 AMGs is your favorite. Thanks for watching.